welcome back to TitanReach. I've been doing wood cutting, and this is the last inventory to get to my goal. Got my camera all nice and angled, so I can just run back and forth between these two willow trees. Super convenient. It gets a little bit off, but overall, you can manage. If you look at the compass bar thing up at the top, when you switch directions, it slightly moves, which is interesting. I don't know if that's typical of games with this kind of compass thing, but it just kind of rotates you very slightly when you go back and forth, so you have to account for that if you're trying to run back and forth between two locations without using the mouse at all. It mostly works. If you look in the chat there, you have a slight spoiler of what's happening, but it's pretty obvious. With the things that we have left to do, and the fact that we're getting willow logs, it's pretty clear. Now we will swim across this lake, jump off a cliff, and get this done. Nice and easy. Completing all sorts of goals, all at the same time. Willow longbows, unstrung. Wait for it. Keep waiting. This might give you an idea of how many bows this has been. Just to tick it over to being finished. There it is. 60 survival. That is our first level 60 stat. By quite a margin. And unlocks the cherry short bow. So that is what we're going to be making now. After we're done with this inventory, I suppose. We're here. This is what the logs are for. Might as well finish it. While we're standing on top of the table. As you typically do. Okay. And as we've done for every inventory here, taking the bows straight to the shopkeeper and selling them. These are not all my bows. Looks like the server has been staying up for quite a while, so lots of stuff being sold to the shop. All kinds of potions, gear, and willow longbows. Okay. Want to do all of them? Probably just one's fine. Right. So we got the cherry log that we banked earlier. I just need a bowstring. I don't keep a stock of flax or bowstrings, since typically they're not really worth getting. At least it doesn't seem that way so far. Yeah, decent price to them. Yeah. Really only ever do this when I'm actually making a bow for my use. So, cherry short bow. Only one. There we go. The unstrung is still 200. Okay. So that is the same as the willow longbow. And cherry is slower to chop and further away from here. So that's not a replacement. It's probably more experience, but still. Bowstring. There it is. Cherry shortbow. With the unfortunate requirement of 50 range. Oof. Not there yet. We have been doing a little bit of range. Got to level 40. So, with that, all those skills are level 40 plus. Getting that to another milestone is going to be quite the work. Just to get to level 45 plus, we would need to train dexterity, strength, defense, vitality, ranged, mining, forging, metallurgy, alchemy, and artisan. Oh, wait. Artisan's 45. So not artisan. Everything else though. That'd be a lot. So, cherry shortbow. Not happening. Willow shortbow it is until level 50. That's pretty impressive. The best sword costs 250,000 gold to make. Level 40 dexterity. Cherry shortbow boy. 50 range. Alright, that's fine. To get to 40 range, I decided to fight raccoons. They have significantly more hit points than chickens, so it was not as big of a waste of my arrows. Now that we're using iron. Bring in range and potions, just to speed things up. And raccoons drop the yabium fish spears that aren't worth anything, but they're just fun trophies to have in the bank, so this is happening. And they also drop apples, which have a pretty good value and are used in a later potion that we can't yet make. So these will be useful later. Let's go do a trip of raccoons, I suppose. Maybe 2 trips. What I like to do, and because of the number of raccoons, it works out perfectly. Oh, how close are we? Nope, not close at all. If we're close to a level, I can bring the potion with me to repot once we level up, but as it currently stands, we just got to level 40 range, so we are good to go to hunt some raccoons by standing right here and shooting the raccoons. It's not always a one-shot, so we sometimes take a little bit of damage, but nothing too severe. And the 5 spawns here works out very nicely. I don't know exactly how long it takes for drops to be seen by other players, but for the most part, this seems to work fine. I think there was one time when I was going for chickens where somebody came by and started looting the loot. Let's see. 3 rounds of raccoons, 15 items. Then do it again. Fill up your inventory. Only wasting some arrows, firing into the ground. I suppose this is technically still a little bit of a waste of arrows, but the loot pretty much makes up for it. I might end up switching to guards at some point, since they have other loot that I might want. But for now, raccoons is a pretty good bet. You look at all the apples all over the ground. And then once you're done with, well, once I'm done with my current range level and everything, once I'm done with my first inventory, the stats are still slightly boosted. And until I make an untold number of arranging potions, I'm pretty good with doing 2 inventories off of 1 range and dose. As long as I don't get a level in between. That still seems to cut out the entire boost. So, right back to raccoons. Sometimes they get in the way of each other. That's the same amount of arrows either way. And even if you get multiple raccoons attacking you at the same time, the bear skin has the same armor value as steel, so it's okay. And these guys are only level 6, so not a big deal. It seems that some enemies have a wider spawn range than others. It was especially noticeable at the bears, because there was one bear that seemed to spawn all over the place, and then another one that seemed to spawn pretty much constantly in the same location. So you get slightly awkward situations where you're fighting one bear and the other one respawns on you. Was I looking at the wrong skill? Must have been looking at vitality. Oh. We only have 10 more in this inventory anyway, so for the most part, just pieing at the bank works fine. Another thing that sometimes happens is raccoons spawn inside the wall here, and it takes them a few seconds and then they kind of get out of the wall. At least they're not trapped in there forever. No, that was a vitality level. Ignore me. The ranged potion got its full usage. And we get a full inventory of apples and some funny spears. You can never have too many fish spears, I always say. Let's do an example of how guards goes. That's probably the better spot, but there's some over there right now, so. Obviously, I'd prefer to fight the melee guards, since we can get a further range on them. This spot has 2 archer guards. That's less ideal, obviously. You want to get a nice long shot. Looks like you can outrange the guards, though. That's actually... You might be able to dodge, too. Okay. This has some use. You just keep backing up. Guards can't even attack you. And you might actually be able to dodge the arrows. That's pretty cool. This is actually pretty viable. Might actually train more of my range levels here. They just kind of strafe around. It's actually super viable. Of course, the guards closer to town would be slightly better, but this is actually pretty good. Didn't expect this to be as good as it is. Very nice. Collecting all their bones. Still spending arrows, though. But I suppose the bones we can make into potions and then sell the potions and all that. Slightly more difficult to aim while strafing, but that's no surprise. Yeah, the melee guard just has no chance. We're just over here standing next to this guard while we shoot all the other guards. They don't care. They can't see me. Not their problem. I guess they're just happy that I'm not shooting them. When you're a guard in an MMO, you have to take any win you can get. Yeah, you can see that we're doing much more than 90 damage per shot. Yeah, 135. That's the extra experience per arrow that we're kind of missing out with the raccoons. Pew pew. Ow. My face. How incredibly rude to shoot me. I disapprove. Just a little bit hypocritical. Yeah. Glad to see that you can dodge the arrows, though. That's pretty good. That's at least a bit more combat interest before they do the whole complete reworking of the combat. So, yeah, look at that. That's a good inventory. Whole bunch of bones and stuff. Very nice. Okay. And we got a range level. Up to 41 now. I guess one benefit of staying at raccoons is there's a chance for a pet. There's no guard pet, unfortunately. As weird as that would be. Just a person following you around because you murdered them? Or a smaller person? Also concerning. Yeah. But yeah. Still just got the chicken pet. That's okay. I don't think archery would be a good choice against the elite guards, though. Since they kinda... I mean, we could try circling around them, but I don't know. I'm not going to place any bets on that right now. Probably not the best plan yet. Maybe once we can use the cherry short bow, maybe we'll get some more damage out of that. I don't know. Anyways. It's going to be quite the road to get to 50 range, but it's a thing that we can actually do, so might be on the list of things. Also need to get to 65 survival, which is a lot more experience. Well, now you're in the next video. Very fun. So, that's about it for this time. We got a lot of work to do if we want to get the final unlock in survival, wield that bow, or make new potions. So, from the sounds of things, there is going to be an update pretty soon. So, that might happen first, depending on how much I work on this. So, we'll see what happens next time. Goodbye.